an RV, a recreational vehicle, that's what RV stands for. Most RVs are found in the driveway of someone's house or in a parking lot of a storage unit. For the vast majority of people, an RV is just what it says it is. It's a recreational, it's a part-time vacation vehicle. So, you have to give serious thought in life to spending a big amount of money for something that may just sit as basically a toy. There are some people who buy an RV with the purpose to live out of it. So then the obstacle with doing that is an RV is not meant to live out of it full time for many years. They're not really, again, built for it, engineered for it, but you can do it. And plenty people do it. So the key thing to remember is, you're on wheels. The other key thing to remember is most people form habits and they don't constantly move. So the wheels are not really serving a purpose unless you're moving, whether every 2 weeks or every couple months. Some people move once a year, a seasonal migration down to the southern region in the winter and up north in the summer. That's the snowbird flow. So is a recreational vehicle worth it? Well, like many things in life, right, it's all going to depend on your individual budget. As long as it's below your means, it doesn't matter if it's a toy that's going to sit in your driveway or if it's a shelter that's going to be your main dwelling, your main house. The key thing, like I say, to remember is where are you going to park it? Obviously, if you have the house, you're going to park it where most people have it, in their driveway, okay? And then you got to make sure that your community allows that, especially if you're in an HOA, right? The other factor is if you don't have a house, where are you going to park it? The answer is a campground. The answer is an RV park. The answer is possibly a storage unit. You may not be able to find accommodations, so you may not want to. So, would I ever buy an RV? I mean, I've looked at just about every type of RV you can buy in the past couple years. And, they all have their pros and their cons. The motorhome, whether it's a big Class A bus-like motorhome, the Class B van, the van conversions basically. The motorhome itself, the pro is you're not towing anything. The con is a motorhome, it's questionable whether you want that to be your everyday driving vehicle. Obviously, if you have a Class A motorhome, you're going to have a tow vehicle because you're not going to make that your everyday driving vehicle. If you have a Class B van, you can possibly make it your everyday driving vehicle, but you're certainly not going to be able to do something like DoorDash or Uber, or you're certainly going to be conscious that every time you put a mile on it, you are depreciating its value, and some of these vans cost $100,000, these Class B vans. So, the travel trailer. The travel trailer, I would say, is probably something that could be very cost effective. Because you can get a travel trailer for a single person for around $15K brand new, maybe $20K, but you can definitely get in between $10 to $20K for a new basic small travel trailer. The problem with the travel trailer is you got to have a tow vehicle. Your tow rating has to be acceptable, but if you do have a tow vehicle, or if you're going to purchase one along with your travel trailer, be sure to add those costs up, right? If you're going to get a $30,000 truck or a $30,000 SUV plus a $15,000 travel trailer, that's $45,000. So, you have to think about that. And then you're back to where you're parking it. And again, if you don't have a house, if you're not parking in a driveway or storage unit, you're going to be parking it in campgrounds or RV parks. So be sure to visit those campgrounds or those RV parks to see if you can visualize yourself in those locations as your place that you go home. Because the good thing about a travel trailer is, you park it, you set it up, you unlatch it, and that's it. You come back to it at the end of the night or whenever you want. Certainly there's a lot of people that stay at the RV park or campground all day. So, you have some flexibility, because once you unlatch the travel trailer, you got a regular vehicle. You can do a lot of things, So, you kind of just got to talk it out on where you're going to park, and how are you going to use the RV, and what is your cost totally in for the RV, motorhome if you have it, for the tow vehicle if you need it, for the campground stays, for the gas, maintenance, and the lifestyle that you are creating. Do you really like one town, two towns? Are you going to do a lot of traveling? So, just give that thought. That's what I have given thought to as I think about an RV. Obviously, a lot of people say just get a van, build out your own van. That's something to be thought of too, but you still got somewhere to park your van. A new van costs about $30,000. You're going to put at least $5,000-$10,000 into it, so you're right at $40,000, and so obviously you can get used, but obviously buying anything used is hit or miss. And so, just give some thought, give some thought to the life on the road. And that's why I always went back to the easiest thing. If you have your health and you're young enough, just live out of the current car you have. I've been doing that for 4 years. Past week I've been in a hotel thinking about what my next step is. Is my next step an RV? Or should I save my money, and should my next step be a house, a home base, a piece of property? I don't want to live in the middle of nowhere. I want to live by the beach. So, you got to think about that too, right? So harder to park an RV by the beach, because property usually has a lot more restrictions by the beach. So, once you make decisions, they lead to other decisions. And that's why you got to give it a lot of thought. That's why you got to remember, try to keep it simple. Keep it below your financial means. There is no exact science to life. We all have a different personality. We're all at a different point in our journey. But the bottom line is, if you live below your means, if you do some research, and even if you make a mistake, you should be able to recover from it, right? Like if you buy a RV below your means, and you have a savings account, you have income, you have little or no debt, then even if you don't like the RV and you got to get rid of it, you'll be able to figure it out. So, that's a little bit of a saving grace, when you use a level of wisdom. You got to take some risk, but you want wisdom to be your foundation, okay? So, and you're always going to need money, guys. So I know there's a lot of people living the nomad life think you don't need money, but you cannot cut your expenses and get out of poverty. You have to cut your expenses, increase your income, monitor your budget. And I know it's not easy. I know there's everyone's got their own story, but that's just the reality. We all have to face it, okay? So thank you for watching. Hopefully my videos help. If you do, click the subscribe button, click the blue join button if you want to support the channel. Remember, I have thousands of free videos on my playlist talking about a variety of topics. Check them out. Thank you to all my members. Remember, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have anything in life, just keep showing up. Keep making videos. They don't have to be perfect, but you need to be consistent. And you need to be consistent. And you need to be consistent. Why? Because reliability is the #1 asset that a worker needs, a manager needs, a boss needs, a YouTuber needs, everyone needs. Because if you don't do something, you don't make progress. And the more you do something, you tend to get better. And even if you suck, you're doing better than someone who's not doing anything. The person who sucks does better if they show up, because the person who doesn't show up, even if they don't suck, hey, they're not there, so it don't matter. So show up. All right. Thank you for watching. See you next video. Peace.